Welcome back to 02 Million Crypto. My name is GC. We are live. Yes, we are live. Joining me as I'm on my way home from Peterborough, Ontario. Today, let's talk about a few different topics in the crypto market. I got 3 different topics I want to talk about today. The first one, let's talk about how institutional buying is running rampant, as this is a common topic of my videos lately. But we have to talk about how the fact that institutional buyers like BlackRock, Fidelity, even ARK Invest, which I brought up a lot in my most recent live stream. Let's talk about how these institutions are now, in total, surpassing a company like MicroStrategy's holdings for Bitcoin. Since 2020, Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy has been buying a lot of Bitcoin. And even when Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy's holdings were in the negative, Michael Saylor continued to buy more and more Bitcoin, and his conviction only got stronger over time. Now, for retail investors like you and I, it can be difficult to keep buying Bitcoin or crypto in general when the market is going down. It's hard to keep your conviction. It's hard to tell yourself, well, I'm investing in a certain asset space that clearly isn't doing me any justice at the moment. And I have to decide as a retail investor if it's worth it to keep putting my hard-earned money into a market that isn't showing me any rewards or gains. We're talking about, as a retail investor, for some, hundreds, thousands, and maybe tens of thousands, and if you're lucky, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of crypto or Bitcoin. But when we're talking about millions and millions of dollars, even billions on the line, it's hard to keep your conviction, and it's hard to say to yourself, well, I already put this much money into the market, which could be millions, hundreds of millions, or billions of dollars worth of your wealth into a market that hasn't increased in any significant manner for the time being. But people like Michael Saylor decided that Bitcoin is the greatest investment out there today. In fact, he's gone on many interviews explaining just why Bitcoin will continue to be the number one asset or investment to put your money into for years into the future and possibly throughout human history. And if you watch a Michael Saylor interview, most of them go something like this. He'll try to explain to whoever the interviewer is that Bitcoin is the greatest storage of wealth, and it's literally the future of money, because the fact that the inflation rate of Bitcoin gets cut in half every 4 years, and there's such a scarce amount of it, it gives people the opportunity to take their wealth from a dying fiat system that only inflates and inflates over time and put it into a system of money where there's only a certain amount of it out there. Every 4 years, it's going to get harder and harder to mine that Bitcoin, simply due to the fact there will be more and more people trying to mine the Bitcoin, on top of the fact of the halving event, which we will see in a few months from now. I believe sometime in April of 2024, the next halving event for Bitcoin will occur, which means the same mining power that people are getting, I believe, is, I forget the exact number it's going to be cut down to, but if people and institutions and mining companies are mining a certain amount of Bitcoin with a certain amount of mining power, in about 2 months or so, it will be cut in half, and all the amount of electricity and power that they're using to generate this Bitcoin is going to be cut in half. And Michael Saylor understands this, and he realizes that sure, you can invest in many different cryptocurrencies or different assets on the planet or on the market in different markets, but MicroStrategy as a whole, as a company, their whole goal is to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. Now, buying MicroStrategy is not something I like to do personally, the stock itself. If I want to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, I will just do it directly and put it on a cold storage wallet. But Michael Saylor has previously said in his past interviews that that's the whole point of MicroStrategy, to use a certain amount of leverage and certain strategies to use leverage to acquire more and more Bitcoin every day and use whatever avenues necessary to acquire whatever assets or capital he needs to get his hands on more Bitcoin. That's basically the premise of MicroStrategy as a whole. And I forget the exact amount. I don't have the numbers right in front of me as I'm driving, and they could be changing constantly because Michael Saylor likes to keep buying more and more Bitcoin as time goes on. But over these past 3 to 4 years of Michael Saylor accumulating Bitcoin, we have institutions like BlackRock and Fidelity and maybe a few more large institutions that are acquiring Bitcoin due to these ETFs that have been released in January. And they already have combined accumulated more Bitcoin than Michael Saylor has in the last 4 years altogether. And Michael Saylor has put billions and billions of dollars into Bitcoin. He's obviously in the profit right now for whatever he bought in the past, but there was a time where he was down on his investment and he had to choose whether he was willing to double down, wait it out, or sell his investment. Clearly, he has stayed bullish on cryptocurrency, but Bitcoin is more of its own category when you're talking about different kind of cryptocurrency investments. As soon as you start dabbling into the altcoin market, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in this video, you're kind of playing with fire, not necessarily saying you're gambling, but you're not investing in the most safest and sound cryptocurrency that has stood the longest test of time in cryptocurrency's history and existence. I mean, if you're looking for a solid number 2, we're going to look at Ethereum. And Ethereum has existed since Ethereum has existed since 2015. But for Bitcoin to be where it is now, starting off the entire crypto market in general, it was the first cryptocurrency ever invented and the first cryptocurrency you could purchase. For it to be where it is now and stand the test of time the way it has been, goes to show that Bitcoin is in a league of its own. And now we're starting to see institutional FOMO from hedge funds like BlackRock and Fidelity, which means that Michael Saylor was ahead of the curve before anyone really wanted to go all in on Bitcoin at a very high institutional level. MicroStrategy, didn't start with they didn't buy hundreds of millions and billions of dollars on a whim when they first got in 2020. Michael Saylor did his research and he knew what he was getting himself into. And now we're seeing these large institutions trying to play catch up. Well, obviously they have caught up because clearly these institutions have billions and billions of dollars to just throw at any kind of market. But now, like I said in previous videos, other institutions are getting the green light to put a large swath of their wealth into Bitcoin because they see that, or rather, they're questioning themselves to the point where, why aren't they in Bitcoin in the first place? Bitcoin is clearly the fastest moving horse, not only on the crypto market, but of all markets. And people and institutions that aren't in Bitcoin and that are left out right now are looking at these markets and looking at different assets that they can purchase, that are available to purchase, and they're asking themselves, why haven't we gotten to Bitcoin sooner? And the answer is simple. They haven't gotten into Bitcoin in the past because it was considered more risky. And even if you have done your research and you know that Bitcoin is probably the greatest asset or investment you can make on earth, possibly in world history, it's still scary to throw large amounts of money at it because the entire crypto space isn't even 20 years old yet. So we're at a point right now in investment history and cryptocurrency history where we're seeing institutions with very, very large amounts of money finally getting the green light and the light bulb moment going off in their company's minds, or the leader of their company's minds, to finally, get that Bitcoin onto their balance sheet, get a position, get a slice of the pie before the pie of Bitcoin turns into a six-figure asset, which we will. We will see Bitcoin go to six figures, I believe, in this coming cycle. Obviously, anything can happen. A black swan event can hinder its progress. We can see people try to stifle cryptocurrency as a whole, such as, institutions like the SEC, where Gary Gensler has basically done everything in his power to stifle cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as a whole. And when you have a player like that, someone like that in the way, hindering Bitcoin and cryptocurrency's progress, well, we all know what to expect. A longer period of time where Bitcoin doesn't get its chance to thrive. But when institutions, large players with very, very large amounts of money, like hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, start getting into Bitcoin, which we're seeing right now, there's no brakes on this train. Bitcoin will hit six figures. How high will it go? Well, I predict a $200,000 Bitcoin at least by the top of this cycle, which is almost three times higher than what we saw last cycle, which was about 70,000 US. So if we hit around 210,000 US at the peak of this cycle that we're about to see, then we're seeing a 3x larger than the last cycle. And what that will do for altcoins is propel them into the stratosphere. Maybe not immediately, but we will see massive amounts of money flow into the altcoins when Bitcoin finally gets a resting period, as we've seen in the past, because an altcoin season usually follows after Bitcoin is done making its tremendous run upwards. Not to say that Bitcoin will stop running upwards completely, but a large majority of the gains will be seen for Bitcoin first. And then as Bitcoin finally gets a chance to calm down and take a breather, the altcoins that are strong enough and have utility and have purpose and have a place in this new financial world we are entering into, we will see these altcoins increase in value tremendously. And the altcoins are what are going to get someone that doesn't have a fantastic amount of money to throw into cryptocurrency or into any asset in general. We're going to see these people go from rags to riches, as we've seen in the past. The problem is, not every altcoin will see those type of gains, because not every altcoin is worthwhile as an investment. And we'll see that as time goes on. Which leads me into my next topic, altcoins in general. I wanted to talk about the fact that if you are interested in altcoins and let's say you haven't ever invested in cryptocurrency before, or you're just a Bitcoin investor in general, I would suggest, not financial advice of course, to dip your toes into an asset like Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is not my favorite layer 1 operating system by any means. It's not my favorite altcoin by any means. It is one that I do own in my personal portfolio, and I don't think I'll ever, take a certain amount of Ethereum out of my portfolio. I always want to have some piece of the pie in Ethereum, because I do believe if you're a crypto investor, you should have some sort of allocation towards Ethereum. But a lot more things can go wrong in Ethereum than something like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the most decentralized cryptocurrency, and layer 1 operating systems like Ethereum are trying to be the internet of money. And there are a lot of competitors to Ethereum, projects and cryptocurrencies and networks and ecosystems that are trying to compete with the likes of Ethereum and trying to become the next Ethereum and try to find the same kind of success as Ethereum. But Ethereum becoming anything other than the second largest cryptocurrency is kind of a stretch right now, in my opinion. And I could still see Ethereum kind of leading the way for the rest of the altcoin market for years to come. I don't see any cryptocurrency really passing Ethereum anytime soon. And if a cryptocurrency, let's say for example, not to say that it will, but let's say for example a cryptocurrency like XRP were to pass Ethereum in market cap, well, XRP isn't really necessarily doing the same things that Ethereum is trying to do. It's kind of a different, it's aiming at a different market, completely different market entirely. If a cryptocurrency like Cardano were to pass Ethereum, then that would be a different story, because Cardano is trying to be the internet of money and things, kind of like Ethereum, but according to its founder and according to the way people have researched Cardano in the past, they believe that Cardano is built more to last and more structured to actually take on a bigger role in the world of finance, due to all the fundamentals of Ethereum not being built in the same type of manner that Cardano has been built in. But only time will tell. I mean, if institutional investors flow into Ethereum and only retail is in Cardano, well, Ethereum's going to see all those gains, massive amount of gains compared to Cardano's, retail kind of money flowing into it, which will not be as significant. It won't be even close to as significant as if we see something like an ETF come out, a spot ETF come out for Ethereum, kind of in the manner or in the same type of fashion that we saw for Bitcoin. But all of these things are up in the air right now. If you are new to crypto, buying Bitcoin is probably your best bet, because investing into altcoins requires a lot more research. It requires a lot more attention, and you kind of have to weigh your options and kind of put altcoins on a scale and balance each other out. Weigh your options and decide which altcoins are going to give you the best chance to make those life-changing gains. And a lot of people don't believe that Ethereum can deliver life-changing gains, but if Ethereum, for example, continues to find success and keeps growing its ecosystem, and like I said, institutions start flowing into Ethereum, maybe not on the same kind of scale as they've flown into Bitcoin, but if Ethereum has its day in the sun with ETFs and institutional investors and big money comes into it, oh boy, you will see Ethereum hit, 5 figures American, and maybe possibly 6 figures one day, possibly in the next decade or so. So altcoins are, they're a whole nother story. Altcoins are another territory in crypto all within itself, excuse me. So thinking about investing into an altcoin, let alone Ethereum, the biggest one, is more of a risk, in my opinion. There won't be any cryptocurrency, in my opinion, less risky than Bitcoin. But if you have the time, if you have the ability to research different cryptocurrencies and weigh your options and decide what's worth the risk, and understanding that the lower a market cap for any cryptocurrency gives you a better opportunity for return, you may consider investing at least some sort of your portfolio, a portion of your portfolio, towards altcoins. But we'll talk more about altcoins in later live streams and videos. In fact, there are 11 altcoins that I have invested or been investing into, and I could tell you them quickly at the top of my head right now. I'm not to say that I have an even amount worth of wealth in all of them, but obviously I have some more money in some altcoins than others. But I believe fundamentally my top 5 cryptocurrencies in general would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and Dogecoin. Those would be my top 5. The other 6 that I'm interested in that I have a much less allocation towards is Polygon Matic, Internet Computer, Optimism, Chainlink, Engine Coin, and Algorand. And like I said, those last 6 coins that I own don't come even close to the amount that I own for the top 5 fundamental coins that I just listed: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Dogecoin, and XRP, as I put a lot less money into the bottom 6 rather than the top 6. But I still believe that those bottom 6 can deliver tremendous gains after I've done a lot of research for the past almost 3 years on those cryptocurrencies, on all 11 of them. And of course, there are other cryptocurrencies that I'm interested in that I've not invested into because you can't own them all. There's only so much money to throw at cryptocurrency, specific ones for that matter. But like I said, it's all about weighing your options, understanding that the lower a market cap value, the higher the price can take you, the more wealth you can achieve, simply due to the market cap being smaller. So like I said, altcoins are a different part of the ocean than Bitcoin. You have a large part of the water. Most of the cryptocurrency market talk and sentiment and ideas flowing around will be about Bitcoin and the state of Bitcoin and how it's doing in the present moment. And you will also have, although Bitcoin isn't even 50% of the entire cryptocurrency market cap, Bitcoin kind of dictates where the rest of the altcoin market will flow. And the smaller altcoins definitely will not see their chance or get their chance to, get to the levels that they want to if they're not built in such a manner for the future and to last in the future and to actually have some sort of utility and purpose and use case in this new digital asset world that we have entered into. Because guys, let's face it, we are in the digital asset world now. When you put money in a bank account, it's digital. Yes, you can hold cash as physical currency, but in my opinion, holding gold and silver and other precious metals is the only physical currency worth holding on to. And that's just where I am mentally. It's all about a mentality when it comes to investing. It's all about having conviction. It's all about knowing what kind of strategy you want to, proceed with. And clearly, as time goes on, you guys will see what kind of strategy I've developed. A long-term dollar cost average, know what kind of investments or assets or cryptocurrencies you would like to invest into, and don't stray away from them. Believe in your research, believe in your gut, believe in Believe in the cryptocurrencies that you believe in. And it could be a tough game at times. It could be difficult to, stay on track and keep investing in cryptocurrencies that you may believe in that haven't shown you any kind of return, maybe for the entire time you've been investing into it. And just getting back to all-time highs for certain altcoins may be a difficult task, but when you invest at the right time, depending on which projects you're actually into, you could see tremendous gains, and you can even exceed the amount of money that you may have lost investing in these cryptocurrencies during a bear market, even if the cryptocurrency you've been investing into hasn't even hit all-time high yet. So just there's some food for thought going around for this current state of Bitcoin, what to expect from Bitcoin in general, what to expect from the altcoin market. I mean, I don't expect a massive altcoin season until about 2025, but we got a whole year until 2025. So we'll see where that market will take us. And right now, Bitcoin is leading the way and is the most dominant crypto asset, and is the most dominant asset on the planet you could possibly invest into, right now. The third thing I wanted to talk about today is meme coins. Now, you may have heard me on my most recent video, or videos I've made in the past, that my favorite cryptocurrency is Dogecoin. Now, I'm not going to get into why exactly Dogecoin is my favorite cryptocurrency. There are a number of reasons for that. It's not necessarily the cryptocurrency I've invested into the most. In fact, the cryptocurrency I've invested into the most, is XRP. And that's not even to say that I own more XRP than the rest of the cryptocurrencies I hold. But when it comes to meme coins in general, I don't really look at Dogecoin as necessarily a meme coin, even though technically it is one, because I see it as kind of it's in a class of its own. First of all, it was the first meme coin ever invented, so it does have longevity from that standpoint. If you look at Dogecoin's overall chart, it's made many millionaires, especially the people that bought Dogecoin when it first came out, and a few years after it came out, maybe in the last two or three cycles. I believe Dogecoin was invented in 2013, but if you look at Dogecoin as a whole, the all chart, the entire history of Dogecoin, it has done very well since its inception. And sure, it took a huge nosedive when Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live. It was basically the episode where he was kind of shilling Dogecoin, and that's right before the lead up to that episode of SNL, which was back in like April 2021. I could be mistaken of the exact month, but it was around May of 2021. Dogecoin was at around 75 cents American. Before that, Dogecoin was fractions of a penny, and maybe a few months before that, only worth a few pennies, let alone fractions of a penny. So you can imagine how much wealth was acquired by individuals that, only put a couple $1,000s or maybe lower 5 figures worth of their wealth into Dogecoin. They became millionaires overnight. But I didn't want to talk about Dogecoin. I wanted to talk about this influx of meme coins that we've seen as of late, maybe the past year or so. All these different meme coins popping up on different ecosystems like Solana, Avalanche, even Cardano, Ethereum as well. Mostly on these layer 1 blockchain operating systems, we're seeing a lot more meme coins come into the fray. And investing in meme coins is the ultimate gamble in cryptocurrency. You can make a lot of money in meme coins, but you could lose it all as well. And when I say all, I mean all, because not every meme coin is a rug pull. And by rug pull, I mean the founders and the people that invented the meme coin basically taking all the liquidity out of the meme coin and basically bringing it down to worth nothing, bringing it down to zero, and basically taking all the liquidity that people had put into it, all the liquidity that people put into it, they lose it all because the founders decide to take all the wealth from it and basically bring the meme coin price to zero. But like I said, not every meme coin is a rug pull, but we can't necessarily trust most meme coins simply due to the fact that meme coins are all based on hype and recognition. And you could have a meme coin like, for example, there was a meme coin that came out last year called Pepe. Pepe is a meme coin. I'm not sure if you know what Pepe the Frog is, but it's basically a popular image of a frog that has circled around the internet for years and years now, primarily on 4chan and websites like that. And the founders made a meme coin called Pepe, where it had a "Make America Great Again" hat on it, with Pepe kind of doing a smug smile in the image. And there's no real foundation or fundamentals behind the coin itself. It's all based on hype, it's all based on speculation, and it's all based on community. People buying the coin simply due to the fact that they believe that the coin can increase in value to most likely sell it for a profit. Now, you could argue that is the premise for all cryptocurrencies and all investments in general in the entire world of all markets. But when we're talking about meme coins, we're talking about the ultimate gamble. Basically investing in a picture. If you wanted to look at investing in meme coins in the most simple manner, taking an image of, let's say, a dog or a cat or any type of animal, or it doesn't even have to be an animal, it could be anything, and trying to make a cryptocurrency out of that, where people buy it simply due to hoping that other people will think the image is funny or think it's interesting and buy into it, just to hope to unload their bags at a higher price. So, like I said, even though Dogecoin's my favorite cryptocurrency and it is a meme coin, I don't really throw it into the same category as coins like Shiba Inu and Pepe and other coins like that. Although Shiba Inu did have its day back in 2021 as well, we saw a massive bull run for Shiba Inu on its own, which is kind of rare. We don't usually see meme coins just blast off individual like we've seen, but it was more of the era of the dog, the picture of a dog kind of meme frenzy and phase that we were in crypto at the time, which can seem absolutely absurd to someone on the outside looking in and kind of discredit the way people look at cryptocurrency as a whole in general. Basically looking at people that invest in cryptocurrency as degenerates for even, considering putting their hard-earned money into, basically what it seems to be just investing into a picture. But that's the current world that we live in, and you have to adapt. People are looking to make money any way they can, and if you don't do your research, if you don't understand the risks, and if you don't understand that meme coins can either make or completely break you as a crypto investor or as an investor in general, taking all these different points of knowledge and perspective from channels like mine will give you a tough time in this crypto market, a tough time, as an investor. And if you don't weigh all the pros and cons of investing in crypto, it's going to be a tough road to get from 0 to $1 million.